Dag nabbit, I think I actually enjoyed this episode. But we'll talk. We'll unpack this because there's a lot to unpack. And dare I say, there possibly could be a future without Teresa on the Real Housewives of New Jersey. Exhibit A, episode 7. Episode 7, yes, and I know what the tree huggers, I understand, like, well, they were talking about Teresa the entire time. Yeah, but they were also talking about some of their own interpersonal dramas. And please understand, there are other interpersonal dramas that producers can focus on in the future. But I'm watching this episode and I'm thinking to myself, we are mainly in, first of all, the entire cast is together and Teresa's at home. Teresa's at home. I know they're talking about her, but they're also talking about how Jackie is a thirst bucket and Jackie is calling Dolores a slob and that she hates her. Look, we've seen Jackie be thirsty on this show. We've seen signs of it from last season. However, I will say, Dolores of all people to say that she's a slob and saying that you hate her. Like we talk all kinds of trash about Dolores, and not necessarily in no, okay, we don't talk trash, but we criticize Dolores for her relationship and what she's not bringing to the show. However, one thing I've always heard about Dolores outside of the show is that she's so sweet, so welcoming, such a girl's girl. Newbies come on into this whole sorority of Real Housewives. She is one of the first housewives, if not the first housewife, to reach out and welcome them. Like, that tells me so much about Dolores' character. We may not love her all the time on the show, but I always think that Dolores is actually a nice person. Outside of this Real Housewives of New Jersey, she's a nice person. Okay, I just thought of something. Despite writing that letter for Dina's ex-husband. I forgot. Never mind. Let's get into our Real Housewives of New Jersey recap. I apologize.
Here we go now.
I am feeling so much better, y'all. Y'all don't even know. I'll talk about this on a whole another something. I don't know. But I'm definitely feeling a lot better than I did the last couple of days. So, but I'm back. I'm back. Maybe a little bit. Not 100%, but I'm back. OMG, Real Housewives of New Jersey. What is going on over there? I have to say, I probably enjoyed this episode more than maybe some of the last couple of episodes. Not like if I had to rate it, if you had to rate Real Housewives of New Jersey's latest episode from 1 to 10, how would you rate it? I probably would rate this episode a 7.5, maybe an 8, maybe an 8, and mostly because of the real estate that we got to look at. Melissa, the house is gorgeous. The house is gorgeous. Like, I want a personal tour. I'm kidding. I'm not coming to New Jersey. I'm not getting involved. Because I go to Melissa's house. All of a, you'd see Melissa. No, I just want to see the house from the inside. I love this stuff. Look, I love looking at property. Oh, especially New York tri-state area property. I love apartments, condos, not hotels, houses. I love that stuff. But Jersey's too toxic. Look, I also like Teresa's home too. I mean, I don't want to tour that one because, Louis. Not even Teresa, Louis. I know Teresa is a sweet, warm-hearted woman, maybe. look, maybe. With all the stuff that's coming out, I'm not too sure about that. But she's a Taurus, so deep down, something sweet. Look, something. The pineapple. Anyways, Real Housewives of New Jersey, guys, don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe. Welcome back to the Kempire channel. Look, I just jumped right on in. This is where you get daily, consistent content all the time. Don't forget, this Friday, I will be live here in New York City. You can come and meet me. Have you gotten your tickets? We've got Jasmine Cooper and Noelle Hughley from Summer House Martha's Vineyard dropping by, and maybe some other special guests. But we're going to be talking about all hot topics, everything that's going on this week, from Kenya Moore and Real Housewives of Atlanta. Is she or is she not returning for season 16? We're going to talk all about it, and explicitly. I can't wait. I'm just going to unleash. There's going to be so much that I want to just unpack. So if you're going to be in New York City, or if you live in New York City, go get your tickets today. Sidebar, if you're not in New York City and you're like in the Midwest and you know I'm never going to come to the Midwest. Well, okay, Chicago, I might come to Chicago. But you know what I'm saying. If you know there's a town that I'm not coming to and you want me to come there and I'm probably not going to come, there is a live stream option. Link in bio. Okay. Boston, June 27th, I'll be there. Get your tickets if you haven't gotten your tickets. July, Nashville, July 11th. Atlanta, July 12th. August, I'll be in Seattle. Go get your tickets. Okay, enough of the promo. Let's talk about Real Housewives New Jersey. So last week's Real Housewives New Jersey ended with the Fudas versus, I don't even call Teresa Giudice. Did she? I mean Giudice. Roelas. Did she change her last name? I don't know if she changed her last name or not. But yeah, here we are. Here we are. Let me just open this thing up because I need to make sure I have everything that I want to discuss today, including my notes. So John Fuda, and I said this last week, this is how I feel about the whole John Fuda stuff. I do feel it's hard to tell whether or not an apology is sincere. It's really dependent on you. And you hear later, I forgot who said it. Oh, Jennifer Aiden, who says it like, well, if you accepted it, we can move forward. I get, not everyone's going to believe. Did I believe that Teresa's apology to John Fuda was genuine? No, because she was playing semantics with what she said. I don't believe it, but just for the sake of the show, for the sake of just moving forward, you could have accepted it. And I did notice how Rachel Fuda pointed out, did you notice that Louis didn't say a word? He didn't say one word during this conversation. And they end up not taking the blue label. You guys corrected me. Sidebar, how did y'all know that was the father's favorite? Or did y'all already see the episode? The person that said it in the comments? Are you one of the people that they leaked the screener to? I'm just asking. Just saying. Or maybe you knew. I was like, I didn't know that the father drank that. Only we find out in this episode that the father drank that blue label alcohol. But maybe because some of you are Jersey connoisseurs and you remember. I don't remember that. Look, I do remember what Louis said about Nono's pajamas. I remember that. Anyways. So as John Fuda is walking out, he's like, oh, you're the poster child for mortgage fraud and money laundering. And then she's like, and you're a drug dealer. So I guess she really wasn't that sincere about her apology. I guess when someone goes low, you go even lower for the love of Candy Burris. Louis had so much to say, though, once John Fuda wasn't in there. And I'm wondering, some people will say, oh, he didn't want to stir the pot, blah, blah, blah. Or he wanted John Fuda to turn up and make John Fuda look bad. But some might also say, oh, he's a punk. Louis got all this to say, but he knows if there was going to be a fight between him and John Fuda, he would lose. And it seems like Louis has a lot of that energy for women and not men. Just saying. Take account of those police reports. Anyways, I say all that to say I did notice that the Fudas ended up not taking the blue label bottle. We find out later that we know who brings it later. Dolores. Dolores is always stuck in the middle, and I can't blame Dolores in that particular instance. If your friend asks you to bring something, not knowing everything behind it, I'm like, all right, let me bring it. But I also don't blame Melissa for not wanting it, because I didn't think about it. If it was just Teresa sending the bottle, I'd been like, all right. But the fact that Louis in the house, I don't trust Louis either. Some of the things that Louis accused of, I don't blame the cast who be like, I don't want that bottle. I don't know what he's. Remember what they were accusing him of like the robot calls and things like that. I don't blame. I'm like, I don't want. I would have put that at the front. Not even at the front door, at the curb. When you think about what he's been accused of and things that we don't even know, yeah, I don't want that bottle. Because Teresa even said that it was his idea to give the bottle. And mind you, you're giving the bottle with the energy of this is for my brother, not for his wife. We have to remember Melissa is his wife. We get it. You don't like her, but you still have to respect their relationship because he loves his wife. This is his chosen family. And he's been married to her for like 20 years. Just saying. No matter how we feel about, Teresa or Melissa or what we've watched over the years, in reality, Joe and Melissa have been together for 20 years. They've got 3 kids together. Teresa's never liked this woman. And at the end of the day, and if it was me, I'm choosing my wife over, not me with a wife. How you doing? Look, but if it was me, I'm choosing my wife because my wife has been consistently there for me and allegedly kissing men in the backseat of a car. I'm joking. I'm playing. Calm down. See, everyone can get it here. Pow, 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 pow. Sorry, Melissa. I just got to make light of the situation because this show is so damn dark. It's so damn dark. So Louis had so much to say. He's like, he's trying to be a wannabe Tony Soprano. And what are you doing, sir? You got so much to say once the man's out the building. You got so much to say. I love it when we see Danielle at home with her family and her kids. That really feels like her safe place. And I have to say, she's very likable in that space. She's very likable in that space. And she says she's still on a high from New York Fashion Week. But then she's just like, now she's back in her reality of being a mom, a housewife, getting her daughter together. Cute little scene. We need these little scenes. Okay? To lighten the energy of this show. Dolores has lunch with her mom and her daughter, who I love. I love her energy. Gabby's energy is she doesn't give up. That like the Patterson Dolores, that is Gabby full time. But that's the thing. Gabby is like hard, but she's a softie for the animals. So in her heart, she's pure as gold. So of course, Dolores and her mom. So she has lunch with her mom and her daughter every Tuesday because that's when Gabby's off from work. Okay. So they're talking about Frank Jr. Frankie got a little girlfriend. They really like the girlfriend. And Frank Sr.'s dog Lolly apparently is terminal, and so she's taking care of the dog. And they talk about Frank getting engaged. So and they're also supposed to be moving. So there's a lot going on in Frank's life. But he's like she's waiting on this. I have to do this soon in regards to this engagement. All right. So they start talking about Paulie, and the mom is just like, you have a right to know what your future will be with this man. You have a right. I always look. Speaking of properties, every time we go to Paulie's house, that townhouse is gorgeous. Did you see the cars in the driveway? So now when I think about the troll account, Melissa's old nose saying that the reason why he won't divorce his ex allegedly is because they have brothels, I said to myself, is that brothels money? I'm in the wrong business. But no, here's the thing. Dolores brings up the fact that Paulie wants to work with her, and that's his way of bringing her in and showing commitment. Paulie has been separated from this woman for like 12 to 14 years. I'm guessing 15. Look, at this point, 15 years. And both her daughter and her mother feel like, well, you need something from him to show some sort of commitment. He needs to get a divorce. But Dolores says he wants to work with her. He wants to be in business with her. I don't know about you. This conversation about him wanting to be in business with her, and then after hearing, never mind. Just because this Melissa old nose interviews, they're in my brain. I'm like, is that why he and Paulie get along? I mean, he and Louis get along so well? Like the business stuff is a little shaky, a little suspect, a little shady. because he wants to get into this electrical business. Again, he's not an electrician. However, he's a contractor. I don't think you need to necessarily have the skill set in order to be the boss. Just saying. But he wants to bring Dolores in. I don't get why you want to bring Dolores in. And I agree with Joe Gorga. Dolores does not want a business. She wants to get married and be taken care of. So even when she's talking about it, she's like, I don't even know my title yet. Your title? What are we doing? What is this? What is this? And sometimes I believe people, and this is a lesson for other people, when people try to start multiple things with you or get you sort of wrapped up, almost like what the music industry used to do with the 360 deal, when people try to get you to do multiple things within a relationship, this is what I'm seeing with it. They already have a relationship, not a business relationship. Now he wants to get her involved in his business. Be wary of stuff like that. There needs to be checks and balances in your life. There's got to be checks and balances. That way, if this relationship, because there is no marriage or commitment, if this were to end, you need to at least have something in writing or something that gives you a clean break. And Dolores, no, there's something very shaky and shady about Paulie that I just can't pinpoint yet. I'm getting closer to it though. Aren't anyone else? We're all getting closer to it. Anyways, guys, it's the summer. You know that? So during the summer, and honestly, in the last week or so, just getting my health right, getting my diet right, I'm really trying my best. So working with HelloFresh is helping. It's helping because one of the biggest things for me is wasting food. I don't want to waste food. I hate when things go rotten in my refrigerator. But with HelloFresh, you're getting the precise amount of things that you need for the dishes that you're going to create. And some of you even said, I still use my HelloFresh recipes from years back since utilizing America's #1 meal kit service. So wake up your taste buds and get summer ready with balanced, fit, and wholesome recipes chock full of fresh produce. Yes, and under 650 calories per serving. Cut down on time spent in the kitchen so you can get back to enjoying the summer sunshine. Thanks to HelloFresh's quick and easy recipes. Every week's menu features options that are ready in just 20 minutes or less. That's even quicker than delivery. So here's your deal. Go to HelloFresh.com/KempireApps apps for free appetizers for life. One appetizer item per box while your subscription is active. That's free appetizers for life at HelloFresh.com/KempireApps. More information on HelloFresh will be available in the description. Thank you to HelloFresh for sponsoring today's show. Because, when we see what the Gorgas are making over there, that is, I don't think it's HelloFresh because that seems like it would be very timely. Like a lot of work. But at least they keep us fed. They keep us fed over there at the Gorgas. All right. Back to this. All right. So we're going to move on. Teresa at home. I always like Teresa at home with her family, specifically with her daughters. Would I watch an entire show just about that? Not really, to be honest with you. That's why I keep telling you to do the YouTube channel. I would watch 15, 20-minute videos, not a full series, especially if she's married to Louis. No. Look, no. I was wondering about Louis', I believe he's autistic, son, Nicholas, and we get to see Nicholas in it. And Teresa's so warm and so sweet. And I can appreciate that side of Teresa when she's with her daughters. Melania's there being funny because she's getting ready for college. She's like, wherever I get in, I'm going. I like Melania. Melania's always been trouble. Oh my goodness. Nicholas gets his haircut at home because that's where, anyone with a developmental disability, comfort is very, very important. Their environment is very, very important. So I love seeing her be warm and soft with him and say, do you love me? I love you. And then he's like, I love my family. This was sweet. Louis is there, but I love seeing Teresa with the kids. I really do love seeing Teresa with the kids. Of course, in this moment, because a lot of people always love to say the other side of this cast is always talking about Teresa. We literally have Teresa talking about John Fuda and their meeting, and a lot of you found it very hilarious. Her calling him John Fugazi. I guess it is cute. We're gonna call him John Fugazi. No, all right. Speaking of each other, Rachel's at home with her family, and she's talking about. And speaking of developmental delays, she's talking about her youngest having developmental delays, and the dentist said, which this is as I get older and things start, you need a little fix, you know, you know what I mean? Like things aren't working, you're getting little pains. You don't realize how certain things are connected to each other in your body. You don't even realize it. So I thought this was interesting when Rachel mentioned that when they get the lip and tongue release that she's supposed to do for her daughter might help the motor skills because her daughter has been having motor skills issues as well. So the dentist said, well, sometimes when you fix that, that helps with other things. I was like, oh shoot, we have this is why God is amazing, or whatever you call, the universe or a power greater than us. Oh, happy Eid. I forgot about that. Happy Eid. Happy belated Father's Day. But that's the thing. Like when we talk about AI and we talk about recreating what God has made, the complexity of our bodies is an amazing feat in itself. So hopefully, because I feel like as the years have gone on and I've seen people have children and things like that, we're seeing so many more developmental delays than ever. And I'm wondering what does that have to do with? Is it our food that we're eating? Is it the environment? There's a lot of things just going on that we need to pay attention to. Okay. All right. Rachel, of course, talks about the meeting with Teresa, and she says, you know what, seeing Teresa, she says for her, she's grateful because she sees exactly who she never wants to be, and that is like Teresa Giudice. I want to say something nice about Rachel Fuda. That confessional, the hair in her confessional, just the blackness of it, the thickness of it, gorgeous. The last time we saw that was Teresa. Maybe there's so much alike that we like just the gorgeousness of that black hair. My gosh. Like, does she dye that? Wow, it's just rich and it's thick. look, it's the hair envy for me. Look, maybe that's what it is. I don't know. Anyways, that's all I wanted to say about that scene. So Melissa's getting ready for her housewarming, and she wants this to be a classy event, but she's married to a Neanderthal. She is concerned about Jackie and Marge fighting at her party because they've been having their own issues, all right? Jennifer, in another scene, tells Dr. Bill, I don't want you to leave my side. She's happy to be invited to this situation, but she still has not had a conversation with Joe Gorga. Okay? I always completely forgot, and I'm surprised this never came up during the season or at the reunion, about what went down at BravoCon between Joe Gorga and Jennifer Aiden. Maybe they wanted to steer clear of that. I don't know. They completely never talked about it, but okay. I mean, Bravo was very upset about it from what we heard at the time. They were very upset about it. Anyways, so Jennifer says that she doesn't like Danielle's elitist attitude because that leads into the conversation about what happened with Lena. I'm so glad that we got more context. This is why context is important, because you remember, if you rewind the tape, I did get the sense that based on what Danielle was saying, because, Danielle has a thing about her when it came to her brother, when it came with her father. We're like, you're being a brat. You're being a brat, and I don't understand what you're doing or what you're saying. But we get more context here in regards to the Lena situation. We definitely get a little bit more context. But Jennifer in this situation says that that she doesn't like Danielle's elitist attitude. However, you are one to talk, Jennifer Aiden, because you have had an elitist attitude over the years on this show. Just like, sometimes I just come in not remembering everything from yesteryear, but I'm like, you're not so innocent in regards to not being an elitist in this group. Just saying. So we get to Melissa's party, and of course Danielle is the first to arrive, and she gives Danielle a tour of this beautiful home. Everyone that's walking up to this home are making just all kinds of comments. Oh my God, this is gorgeous. This is gorgeous. They come inside the house. It's gorgeous. I just wonder how they would have felt if they walked up to the original house. Y'all remember? Oh, I have nightmares just thinking about the original house. Shout out again to the designers, the architects that fixed that hot mess. No, shout out to them, because you have to have vision, because it was already built. And then everybody on social media was dragging Melissa. See, I always tell you guys, everybody can get it. Pow, 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 pow. Who cares? It's fixed now, Melissa. Calm down. So I can still see it, but you have to have vision. Shout out to the architects in the world. Who's an architect? Let us know in the live chat or the replay crew. Okay. The vision you have to fix a hot mess. You have to really almost like what we were talking about when we were talking about Real Housewives of Dubai and Sarah, the guy that they hooked up Sarah. You gotta squint your eyes, dim them a little bit, tilt your head, tilt it to the right, and then see something completely different. Shout out to those damn architects. Okay? Shout out to them. And shout out to you guys. Thank you so much for donating to our fundraiser for LGBTQIA plus Pride Month. It is Pride Month here. We are almost at $1,000. But our goal is $2,500 for the center. The center is an amazing organization, an amazing safe space for the LGBTQIA community. It's a place that I went to as a kid. It's a place that I donate to every single year as well. I want to raise money with your help to continue the incredible work that they're doing so that they can continue to create a safe space for people that were very much like me, that really didn't feel welcomed in the spaces at the time. And yes, it's a different world, but things are still happening in this world. And they're doing incredible work, and they have so many different events, so many different programs, programs for people that, like group counseling. They have just, dating stuff. They have just all kinds of activities, and they've been doing this for decades. So let's help keep the doors open over at the center here in New York City. 100% of your donation, 100%, shout out to YouTube Giving, goes to the organization. Help us break our goal this month, this year, in regards to our LGBTQIA Pride Month fundraiser. So thank you so much in advance for those that have donated, those that have shared our videos for other people to donate. We appreciate you guys. All right, back to this. All right, so here's the thing. Okay, we get a separate scene with Teresa at home. She's making some meatballs, okay? But the majority of this last 30 minutes of Real Housewives of New Jersey was at Melissa's housewarming. And I wonder how Teresa felt. Because she knows that this is happening. She knows that this is being filmed, and she's at home with her family. Fantastic. But it's not the majority of the episode. It's not the majority of these last 30 minutes. All right. So let me see. Was there anything else that I wanted to say about Teresa at home? Oh, Gia. Gia wants to move out. Gia wants to move out with her boyfriend. And this is what I appreciate Teresa, because Teresa grew up in a way that her parents really controlled her. She never lived on her own. So she wants her kids to do things differently. But Gia, Gia's headstrong. So Gia's going to do things the way she wants to. Because the minute Gia comes into the room, Teresa's sort of like, just sort of backpedaling on what she was saying. Okay? So they also discussed Danielle hanging out with the other group. So, of course, Gia has something to say in regards to. She says as long as she's not, trying to ride, play both sides of the fence. She's twerking the fence, okay? I don't think that Danielle's trying to play both sides of the fence, honestly. I do think that Jackie is trying to do that. We'll get to Jackie in a second. But then Louis calls John Fuda a bitch boy again. Sir, you are projecting. You are clearly projecting. You have so much mouth when they're not there, but when they're in your face, you have nothing to say. And honestly, when you do have something to say when you're in the face, it's because cameras are there and they're not going to allow people to fight. So sit down, Louis. Don't nobody want to hear from you. All right. So Rachel is recounting everything that happened with Melissa about her meeting with Teresa, and she tells her about the Blue Label bottle that Teresa had brought for her brother. And Melissa says, "Yeah, I'm glad you didn't bring that bottle here. It might be bugged. It might have like an air tag or something in it." But Dolores ends up bringing, I didn't even notice. I was like, "Oh shoot, Dolores has the Blue Label bottle." So, of course, this leads to a conversation because Dolores brings the bottle to Joe Gorga, And this leads to Melissa's like, I don't want to talk about this. I don't want us to get into this at all. And she's like, I'm just going to put this with the other bottles. No, put it by the curb. Because I really didn't think about it until you said it, Melissa. I was like, oh, wait, you might be right. I don't trust Louis as far as we can throw Louis in No-No's pajamas. Sorry, may you rest in peace. Yeah, so, but here's the thing. Joe Gorga talks about how he embraced Louis in the beginning. He wanted this for his sister. And then he's like, this man, I don't remember this. I don't know if this came out during the season. Joe Gorga then accuses Louis of hiring private investigators to follow him. But I do remember, that's the thing. I don't remember what is said on the show versus what is said on social media in regards to what happens on Real Housewives of New Jersey. The bodito of it all. And look, I do believe Louis did that. Louis is weird. Like, I don't care if you love Teresa. We can all admit that Louis is weird. And I wouldn't put it past him to do something like that. And do I believe that Louis sent fans or random people to his ex-girlfriend's practice? Yes. Look. Yes, I believe it. I believe it. Weird. He's such a weirdo. So Joe says that, but Jennifer Fessler says in her confession, she's like, she didn't believe that the bottle had ulterior motives. She just thought it was like a nice gesture. Jen, I get where you're coming from because I said the same thing last week. But now that I'm thinking more about it, and now that I know it was more so Louis telling Teresa to do it, I don't know what was in that bottle. I would have bust that bottle open and put it at the curb. Just saying. Weird. Like I wouldn't even want to touch it. I'd be like, let me get some gloves or something. I hope they threw it out. If y'all see this and y'all still have it, throw it out. You're right. I wouldn't trust him as far as I can throw him. But I can trust you guys, right? Have you liked the video yet? Have you subscribed? Have you turned on your notifications? Have you subscribed to the podcast? Don't forget, you can take us on the go and hear special episodes that you can't hear anywhere else on the Kempire podcast. Be sure to give us a 5-star rating. I think we're almost at 500 on Apple Podcasts, and we're almost at 500 on Spotify. Go give us a rating today. 5 stars, nothing less. 5 stars, nothing less. And I did post a special episode this weekend where I added some additional commentary and news in regards to the Kenya Moore situation. That's only available on the Kempire podcast. All right. And you never know. Depending on after I say this, maybe I'll watch what happens live, and then I'll probably add more commentary to the audio version of our Real Housewives of New Jersey recap. All right, let's move on. So here's the thing about Joe Gorga. Yes, he can be infantile. He can be immature. He can be a Neanderthal. But he always brings the guys together in such an authentic, fun way. Like, I really feel like the guys are getting along and having a good time. I know some of you do not like the focus of the guys on Real Housewives of New Jersey, but Bravo does. Bravo clearly does. And the majority of people do. The majority of people do. Sometimes I'm like, it's a little too much for me. But they wouldn't have had these 2 different panels with the guys doing all kinds of craziness at BravoCon if they didn't believe the audience would love the guys doing something. Just saying. But I have to say, some of these scenes, when I see with the guys, it feels authentic. It kind of reminds me, being from the New York tri-state area, it kind of reminds me of, like, this is what really happens. If this is probably one of the most authentic things that we still see on reality television, are these, Italian guys, and maybe not even Italian, just friends of Italian guys coming together, because we all know each other. We're all from the neighborhood, hanging out, drinking, acting a fool, making jokes and things like that. So when I see these guys get together, for me, it feels a little bit like home. I'm like, even though I'm still in New York tri-state area, but it's seeing it. It's like, I love it. I love it. Just saying. Anyone else? For those that used to live in New York, the New York tri-state area, but you've moved, because a lot of people have, isn't that what you get when you watch them? Just saying. You'll let me know in the live chat or the replay crew. Okay. All right. Oh, Lord. So Melissa, before Jackie even gets there, so Melissa points out that she invited Jackie because she didn't want to hear another thing about Jackie not being invited to. Jackie, you're going out so sad. Look, you were never a fan favorite, But I personally didn't mind Jackie. I was like, Jackie's smart. I like Jackie being a part of the show. Yes, there's more to Jackie. I like that Jackie was opening up about her eating disorder and things like that. But last season, and especially this season, and I'm not saying that you can't be friends with Teresa, and I believe Melissa is saying the same thing. Like, you could be friends with who, like, I don't believe Melissa really cares at the end of the day. I do believe that Marge does, but I really don't believe that Melissa is holding that against her. But it seems like you are saying and doing things behind the scenes that are making your friends look at you sideways, making your friends be like, God, here she goes again, complaining about something else. Okay. So she says she can't hear Jackie complain about not being invited to something else. And then they play all the times that Jackie was complaining on camera about not being invited or included. Again, because she wanted to be a full-time housewife. She wants to be on this show. Despite whatever money she has or success she has or a family she has, she wants to be on reality television. I mean, look, I'm not judging her. There are plenty of people with all of that still want to be on reality television. Okay? Jackie, you're not that interesting on reality television, though, if we're being honest. I still go back to that sorry, sad party. And I'm not talking about the one you threw in the driveway. I'm talking about the one you threw in that place where we had like 2 things of food. You are on Real Housewives of New Jersey. You see how they do. Look, this quaint little party that Melissa Gorga was throwing. You saw the food? Did you see all of what she was doing? Did you see the display? I'm just saying, like, they do it big on Jersey. No matter, look, Teresa's throwing something, it's done big. Lots of food, lots of things, lots of options. I'm still looking at you sideways at that little thing you threw. And I'm not talking about the pizza in the driveway. I never judged you because of that. I judged you later. Anyway, sidebar. Joe Gorga does end up taking the card that Teresa added to this blue label and throwing it in the fire. Do you think that he should have read it? Do you think? I've been saying, like, I feel like Joe Gorga would still be open to his sister if she needed him. I think he still would be. Despite throwing that in the fire, I think for him, it's just sort of like, no, unless we're going to have a face-to-face conversation, unless you really, truly need me because of something, yeah, I don't want to see some fake, insincere note. Do we wonder what was said? Probably was something very bland. Like, congratulations on your new home. Love you. Who knows? I mean, it was from Louis, so who knows what it said. So Melissa invited Jackie because, like I said, because she didn't want to hear Jackie complain about not being invited. The group rehashes what happened at Rachel's meeting with Teresa. And Jennifer says very much what we said. Maybe you guys just should have accepted the apology just so that you could move forward. Jackie chimes in saying that, yeah, Rachel was not going to move forward because of her friendship, because she's besties with Marge and Melissa. Marge is not there at that particular, she's not in the circle during this conversation. But of course, Dolores brings it back. Dolores brings it back to stir the pot. So Marge is like, what? And she goes to confront Jackie. And Jackie's like, yeah, because I believe that. I believe that's why Rachel wouldn't make up with Teresa, because of you and Melissa. So they start talking about the book again. And look, I think I heard this before, but Melissa says it on the show that Jackie wrote in her book, because remember, Melissa got an early copy, wrote in her book that Teresa caused her relapse with her eating disorder. I remember hearing about that. And I'm not saying that Jackie can't forgive Teresa for that, but the way that Jackie has moved forward, it just seems suspect. It doesn't seem sincere. It seems disingenuous, her letting that go. It seems like she just wants, just based off of what we're hearing about some of the things that Jackie has been doing behind the scenes and complaining about to her friends, it just makes it seem like, yeah, you're being insincere. So you're trying to hitch your wagon to Teresa because everything on this other side is falling apart. And we all saw how you felt about the Evan rumors and things like that, who Teresa although people accuse Marge being behind it, but it was Teresa who brought it to the show and was spreading it around at that birthday party. And I'm not saying that you can't forgive her for that, but I was really coming into the season waiting and watching, like, maybe this was genuine. Maybe the way that this came together, this friendship came together, was genuine. No, it looked like this friendship came together out of convenience on both sides. Both sides. I did see a little bit of Watch What Happens Live. I didn't get to see the entire episode, and I saw that Jen Fessler and Jackie disagreed because Jackie has been telling the media that Marge said that that they should refuse to film with Teresa and Louis, if Louis comes back next season. And Jackie's like, yeah, she definitely told me that, and she's giving a look to Jen Fessler. It's like she never said that to me. Marge never said that to me. Marge and Jen Fessler are good. Jackie and Marge are not good. All right. And everyone's dragging Jen Fessler because they thought that Jen Fessler was a tree hugger now all of a sudden. But she's like, no, I'm not best friends with Teresa. She doesn't have any issues with Teresa, but she's not best friends with Teresa. She's still good with Marge. They've hashed out their issues, so they're still good. But Jackie and Marge, I don't think they will ever be the same, to be honest with you. I don't think they'll ever be the same. But I did find it interesting that Melissa pointed out that Jackie wrote that in her book. Jackie accuses Marge of being mad at her for being friends with Teresa. Yeah, I believe that. Look, I believe that. Yeah, 100%. Yep, she is mad about that. Marge says that she had to talk Jackie off of ledge because she wasn't tagged in that baseball photo from Dolores's charity event. And I saw that Jackie went on social media talking about how Marge was making fun of her mental health. And I was like, is that because of what she said? Look, that is a saying. People will say that about anyone. We are definitely sensitive to people's mental health. And we know that Jackie is struggling with some things. But saying something like that, I didn't personally take it like that. I'm not telling Jackie how to take something like that. But a couple of people made some accusations about Jackie and how she was dealing with things behind the scenes. But it was clear based off the text message, and this is where Marge's tagline comes from in regards to screenshots. She sends a screenshot to Dolores when Dolores is having a conversation with Jackie. And Dolores is like, she puts on her glasses and she's just like, I gotta check on my dog. You called me a slob? But here's the thing, like the slob part is what got Dolores. It was more so the I hate her part for me. It's one thing, when you're mad at someone because she felt like Dolores intentionally did not tag her in the photo. And Dolores says in this moment, she's like, and this is not the first time you've talked about me. So there were some other things that Jackie has said about Dolores that I don't know if we ever found out or knew about. But that text message was pretty damn. She called her a slob and says, I hate her. That is like mean. I don't think that Dolores is not a girl's girl. But then again, I thought, God, I go back to the Tommy Mantle stuff. look, I gotta eat my own words. Look, just saying, but still, but still. All right. Okay, but even before that, we have a side conversation with Jennifer and Danielle about the whole Lena situation and Lena not being able to be in VIP. This is why context is so important. Because literally, I was like, oh my gosh, Danielle, you are giving a lead. It's like, what is she doing in VIP? According to Danielle, this charity event that she threw, she wanted a space for the housewives because this was a big event with fans and things like that. And she said fans and people were already infiltrating the VIP area. If you ever been to events like this, that happens a lot. That happens a lot where people infiltrate VIP. So she says that Lena not only wanted to come into VIP by herself, someone that she said she blew out my hair once. Ungrateful. No, but here's the thing. She wanted to bring Laura. You remember Laura. I almost forgot about Laura from last season. So Danielle didn't want to have to stir the pot or being involved with the Laura of it all. So for me, I was like, oh, this makes more sense. This makes a lot more sense. And look, even if it wasn't Laura, well, now Lena wants to bring people over and then someone else is going to bring someone. I kind of get where she was coming from, but here's the thing. Jennifer Aiden don't care about Lena. Jennifer Aiden doesn't care about the whole Laura situation. Jennifer Aiden was more pissed about them not promoting her husband's business on the Step and Repeat because that's what came out of her mouth next. I think she felt burnt by that. I have to give Danielle kudos in this moment because instead of dragging this whole fight out, she apologizes to Jennifer. She's like, if I got it wrong, she said, because she's like, why should I even put you on the Step and Repeat? Y'all didn't do anything for this event. And she's like, I provided cars for you guys. I made it nice, basically. But she backtracks completely. And she's like, you know what? If this was my first time doing something like this, if I dropped the ball on something, I apologize. I was like, oh, shoot. All right, Danielle. I need you to have that same energy with your brother. Again, we don't know the full context of what's going on there. But I didn't think that I would change my opinion on this whole Lena situation until she explained it. I was like, for anyone else, live chat, replay crew, did her explanation make more sense to you and change your mind about the whole situation? Maybe it didn't. Fine. But actually hearing the full situation, I was sort of like, okay, I can see where you're coming from. You didn't want to get involved with the whole Laura of it all. It's very clear that Jennifer Aiden actually was not pissed about the Lena of it all. She was more pissed about not being included on the Step and Repeat. Okay. And normally if you're included on a Step and Repeat, you've given money to the charity. And maybe she gave money to the charity, but it was probably a regular donation like everyone else, and everyone else should be on the Step and Repeat. But if you're going to be on a Step and Repeat, you are donating a certain amount of money. You're very much involved in the planning of it all. Yeah, you don't just get on a Step and Repeat. Just saying. As someone that has thrown events before. Like the Kempire After Dark live New York City experience happening this Friday at Green Room 42. Have you gotten your tickets yet? There is a live stream option. But if you're in New York City, you better come on down to the show or you're going to miss out. You're going to miss out on tea that you're not going to see anywhere else. And if you're a member of the channel, there is no guarantee that we're going to share it. Just saying, we might share a clip. I still haven't even shared the full live show with Q&A with everyone. Oh, no. We haven't even shared all of that. Just saying. You got to come to the live show. That's why, look, we got to make it exclusive. Just saying. And if you're in Boston or will be in Boston or want to come to Boston, I'll be there June 27th. And then in July, I'm coming on down south. I'm coming to Nashville on July 11th. And I'll be in Atlanta July 12th. And then I'm going off to Seattle August 30th. Go get your tickets today. More information on the Kempire After Dark live experience is available in the description. And I know you all are asking, what about this place? Look, it's the summer. We will revert back come the fall. Okay, we'll revert back come the fall to figure out more additional dates. But thank you to those of you that have come out so far to our New York City show, to our Philly show, to our DC show. We had 2 sold out shows already. So shout out to all of you for supporting the Kempire After Dark live experience. All right. Moving on back to this party because this party is still ongoing. So Danielle and Jennifer, they seemingly make peace, but the peace it's not going to last. You saw the preview for next week. All right. And if what Melissa's old nose said on the Behind the Velvet Rope is right, oof. All right. Let's move on. But they end this particular episode with the fight between Jackie and Dolores. So over in the corner, first of all, when Jackie goes inside, Jackie fell, Lord. But when Jackie goes back inside, she goes to give a hug to Marge's husband. I think that is pretty ballsy because you're just out here talking about the wife and you want to go in and hug the husband. And then she goes into, don't hug my husband. So when she's having this side conversation with Dolores and Jackie, that's when Marge sends a screenshot and she's like, show her the picture, tell her to check her phone. So she goes to check her phone and she sees that screenshot where where Jackie calls Dolores a slob, and I hate her. I don't care about the slob part, but Dolores is focused on the slob part. Dolores though ripped her apart in that confessional. She was just like, I'm the slob? You're calling and crying and doing all of this? I was like, oh, shoot. Like, being on the show is that important to you? Jackie, therapy. Because I'm dumbfounded that she so wants to be on this show that she's willing to do anything to do it. Like, it's so sad. But I don't blame Dolores for calling her out about it, because Dolores is like, you're calling me a slob and that you hate me, and this is not the first time that I've heard you talk about me. And then Jackie tries to throw Marge on the bus. Well, you should hear what she says about you and Paulie. She just doesn't say it in text. Well, she's smart about it. She's like, yeah, she is smart about it. I guess you're not so smart. I was like, damn. Patterson Dolores came out, and I was here for it. Finally, Dolores. Finally. I was here for it. Weren't you guys here for it? Jackie, like, this is going to be your undoing. I don't want to see Jackie come back in a reboot. Sidebar, I think we talked about this. I don't think we talked about it last week. We talked probably about it on Tuesday Takeover. But the reboot news or, conversation about casting, Andy has said to Entertainment Tonight, don't believe any casting news for the next 6 months. I'm going to say the next 3 to 4 months. I'll just say that. He's saying 6 months to give them some leeway. I'll say 3 or 4 months. As the season's airing, I think they'll start making more decisions towards the end of the season. So that news about Teresa, Jen Fessler, Rachel Fuda, and did they say Jennifer Aiden? I don't remember, but there was a rumor. Andy says it's not true. It's not true, because people were like, oh my gosh, Melissa's not coming back. No. Based off of this episode, though, I'm like, they could do a show without Teresa. And again, I know you guys will say, well, they're talking about Teresa. No, they weren't just talking about Teresa. They were talking about their own interpersonal stuff, talking about what happened at that charity event. Just saying. I did see Tiffany was there, Danielle's friend. I guess they were testing Tiffany out. I didn't love Tiffany's look, though. What the hell was Tiffany wearing? Her husband's gorgeous, though. Tiffany, you weren't looking like the upgrade. I'm just saying, come on. Anyways. Guys, how would you rate this week's episode of Real Housewives of Jersey? I have to say, I probably enjoyed recapping this particular episode more than any of the other episodes this season. Did you enjoy this episode? I know some of you just watch my recap and not the episode. Lucky me. Lucky me. Guys, don't forget, our houseofkempire.com has our Pride merch and Juneteenth merch. Happy Eid, happy belated Father's Day, happy Pride Month. We are still raising money for the center as our Pride Month fundraiser. Help us get to our goal of $2,500. We're not even halfway there. Help us get to halfway there this week, because we're already halfway through the month. Over halfway through the month. Help us get to that goal. Shout out to those of you that have donated. Shout out to our channel members. Shout out to our King's Guards for always holding us down in the live chat. We appreciate them so much. And of course, thank you to our subscribers, and for those of you that watch in the bushes. You don't subscribe, but you're always here, hating from outside the club. Anyways, guys, I hope you have a great rest of your Monday. I will see you all in the next one. I'll see you on the podcast version. You never know what I might say there. All right. Be sure to subscribe there. More information on everything Kempire will be available in the description, including today's sponsor, HelloFresh. Bye, y'all. I'm out of here. I'm out of here.
Here we go now.